That seemed faster than usual, the live
Yeah, that was
part.
that was real quick.
Yeah.
How's it going? How's your week been?
It's been okay. It's been snowing here again
Oh yeah.
because it's Canada. So, like, everything's been fucked. Like, getting to work and getting around the city has been terrible because people forget completely how to drive when snow hits.
It's
So,
finally been warm here. I went to work in shorts today.
oh man, that sounds so
Which was
good.
Yeah, which was real like it got up to like 19. It was real nice. Last Sunday though, it was super weird. It started off real sunny, no clouds. 10 minutes later, I went outside. It's like stormy and freezing. Then it starts to rain. Then it starts to hail. Then it's sunny again. Like I went through all of this like four times throughout the day. It was weird.
Oh man,
Yep.
confusing your
Reminded me of Calgary
emotions.
for sure.
Yeah, Calgary is really bad for that for sure.
Yep.
Never knows what it wants to do here.
Yep. Yep. No John this week.
No, he's in PAX.
He's at Boston.
Yep.
PAX isn't tonight, is it? It starts tomorrow? Or wait, or does it start on the weekend?
I think it starts this weekend, but yeah, he was there with his girlfriend with Reese, and they were visiting some family, I think, before, which is why they're
Right.
not here.
Right. Because I know PAX West includes the Friday and the Monday. I just don't know how much East includes. People in the chat are saying starts tomorrow, I believe. So I guess maybe Friday.
Yeah,
This is the biggest one though, right? This is the one that has the most attendees.
I believe so. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it is like physically the biggest one for sure,
Oh,
which
okay.
is why they
Okay.
can't call West Prime anymore.
Prime.
Yeah, they gave the
Right.
wrong impression, I guess.
Oh well, I don't know.
No.
PAX North, bring it to Canada.
Yeah, it'd probably go to like Chicago or something. I don't know that they would go. I want them in Canada so bad. It would just
Isn't
be
Boston
easier.
and Chicago close to each other?
Closer than Seattle is for sure, but I wouldn't say
I'm just
they're
saying, like,
close.
why would you put some so like? Aren't they in the same state? I really don't know.
No, they're not. They're not in the same state. Chicago is just
Boston's
like
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Two shits. And
Massa-
Chicago's Illinois.
Massachusetts. Exactly.
Yeah, well, you're right. They're not in the same state. Well, they should do it up in Toronto. That's what they should do.
If they did one, it would probably be Toronto. You're right.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Because the only other city would be like Vancouver, but
And that
that's
makes no
basically
sense.
Seattle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Makes no sense at all to do it there.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. But you saw Logan. I
yeah,
want to know
speaking of
what
PAX.
you think of it. Yeah, speaking of PAX.
Logan's a good movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Okay, cool. That's what
It's
the consensus seems to be, so.
Yeah, it's just like it's finally like the Wolverine movie we've been waiting for. It's dark and gritty. There's some gags in it for sure.
Mhm.
You know, obviously not as much as Deadpool,
Right.
but it's going for something different. Hugh Jackman does a great job. Patrick Stewart, great job. I don't know the girl's name. Who the little girl sidekick. I don't know that actress's name. She's like 12 or something. She does a great job.
See, that's good to hear because it's always the kids that can fuck a movie up, right?
Yeah.
Like the kid actor.
Yep.
So that's good.
No, and she has some like key parts to this, and it's good that she doesn't screw it up. But
For sure.
yeah, some cool fight scenes, some cool set
Oh, yeah.
pieces. That one in they're in like a hotel or whatever. That was pretty cool.
Okay.
If anyone has seen it.
I mean, it sounds cool.
Yeah, I would recommend it. If Kong Skull Island wasn't coming out this Friday, I might go see it again.
Is that this Friday?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
You know what else is coming out fast and furiously, like the movies, is the video games, which
Oh yeah, look at that.
it's what we talk about here on the Top Down Perspective on the 9th of March.
9th of March.
Yeah, 9th of March. I'm Paul, and with me is Sean, as always.
Yep.
Always here. never not here. Yeah. We should talk about video games because there's some big ones to talk about. So, Sean, what have
Right.
you been playing?
All right, I've been playing this small game on my phone called Solitairica.
Okay. Is it solitaire?
It's kind of solitaire. I'm really into this game. Like, I've been playing this game like every day. It's super good. So as you know, often when I play phone games, I like ones that like combine two kind of genres. I talked about Lost Shield a couple weeks ago. This one is it's kind of a roguelike mixed with a solitaire like.
Okay, sure.
So you're fighting the forces of Stuck, which is a pretty good name for the antagonist in a solitaire game.
Yep. Stuck.
And yeah, there's 18 stages before you fight the final boss. I actually just beat it earlier today, and I've been playing it probably for about 2 hours every day since
Okay.
last weekend sometime. um, so 18 stages. Each one will be a different monster, and the monster, their life bar is a set of cards along the screen.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and you have your deck, and like solitaire, you flip one card over, and then let's say I got a 4, I can get rid of either a 5 or a 3.
Okay.
There's no suits or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about. It's not like stacking cards. So
Okay.
he'll have a bunch of columns, and if on the front card of his columns, if one of them's a 5 or a 3, I can tap that, and I get that card, and he loses it. And my goal is to get rid of all of his cards.
Right.
So now let's say he had a 5, so I tapped his 5. Now I have 5. I don't have the 4 anymore, and he has one less card. What makes it even more interesting is each card has like an element to it.
Okay.
And there's attack, defense, agility, and willpower. And so let's say the 5 that I scooped up was an attack. I get one attack put into my little bank, and I have a row of spells at the bottom of my screen that when I get enough energy, I can use a special attack. So ones will be like, this will just cut one of his cards away, or I had this really good one that would destroy an entire column of his cards. But you'll get other stuff like you can put up shields and you get armor. You can heal yourself. You can change his cards. You're stunning each other, and every time that you can't play a card, like you can't tap one of his, and you tap your deck to reveal a new card, that's the enemy's turn. So the enemy gets to flip over a card or like an ability that will usually do damage to you or stun you or poison cards and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then between enemies, like once you beat it, you get coins and stuff, and you collect coins while you're also fighting. It's because sometimes they're element cards, sometimes they're coin cards. You can buy new items and spells to equip to make yourself stronger as you progress through. And if you lose, you basically lose everything, and you got to start over. There's the roguelike element. So all the spells you bought, you lose them.
Okay.
Yeah, but there is a second currency that you get based on how far you progress, and those can enhance your deck. Like you can have more item slots. Those ones do carry over. So there's some stuff that can carry over. So I lost maybe like 6 times and was able to enhance my deck enough to start my run that allowed me to like beat the game this morning. And you can buy different decks that will focus on different cards that you'll pick up and stuff like that. It's not free to play. It's $4. It was on sale last weekend for $3, and I picked it up. It might be on Android. I think it actually is on Android.
I could look this up right now
Yeah.
to clarify if it is or not, I guess. Solitairica. Okay, just make sure I spell it right here.
Yeah, so Solitairica.
It sounds cool.
It's really fun, and I got like hooked on it immediately, and just every time I lost, just went right back in.
Righteous Hammer Games?
Yes.
It is, in fact, on Android. So,
Yeah.
there you go.
So if you're interested in kind of puzzly games in any way, it's not like kind of boring like Solitaire. It's really fun. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, installing it now.
Nice. Is it free, or did you purchase it?
It is free, and it is 123 megabytes, so I'm sure there's a lot of advertisements.
Maybe it's free on Android. There is no free version on iOS, so that's interesting that they split it up that way.
I mean, can they do free on iOS? Like, are there games that are free? Yeah? Yeah, it is weird. Maybe they just don't care about Android.
I've never heard of a game where they did it separately. But yeah, like we were playing Fire Emblem Heroes, remember? That was free.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
so there's tons of free stuff.
No idea. It's a pretty big install, though. for like what
yeah,
you're
I don't
for
know.
what you're explaining is essentially solitaire. It's pretty big.
I don't know. It has some cool art. I like all the different environments you get to play in. But yeah, I recommend Solitairica.
This is on Steam as well.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, so shout out to Lade One Rex in the chat here that
Oh yeah.
just linked in Steam. It is $11 Canadian in Steam.
Oh
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, pick this up on mobile for sure.
This is cool looking though.
It's a cool game. And yeah, coming across the new enemies, seeing what like their special abilities can do. Because some will be like a freeze enemy that makes it harder for you to destroy cards. Some will be like there's this giant ogre. Like one of my first initial runs that I got real far, I got to this ogre that could just stomp me for 15 damage, which is insane. Because like having like 15 health in general is a lot. You start with 10, you can rarely get items to increase your max health. So it's cool. It's cool. I had to develop some cool strategies.
Yeah, this is cool looking. I'm gonna play this a little bit later.
Yeah. Hopefully you like it. You have to let me
Yeah, for sure.
know. Before we get into the big stuff, do you want to cover your
I do.
Adjacent games?
I do, yeah. So Horizon continues to be fucking amazing.
I want to play it so much.
It's after we talk about like obviously we're talking about Zelda in a bit. But yeah, it'll be weird to go to because it just does the same kind of idea differently, like the kind of like open world thing differently. So
I hope I just don't get burned out.
yeah, we'll get to this for sure. It's really good though. It's more of a guided story experience, like for sure. And I kind of like that about it. Like every time I go into Horizon, I feel like there is a thing I'm probably gonna do and accomplish, and then I'll put it down for the night. And that's not exactly the feeling I get playing the other one. So
Right. I was just thinking that's a bit of a difference.
yeah, for sure. That's still a very, very good game. I feel like an idiot. We have to talk about Fire Emblem Awakening because I restarted it again, but there's a reason. There's a reason for it. Restarted it
right before that, just Horizon recently, briefly.
Yeah.
I'm in a mode right now where it's like, man, I really wish I had time to play Horizon. And then early yesterday, I pre-ordered Mass Effect, which comes out in like 2 weeks, and it's like, oh, good, another game that's probably going to be like 20 hours of my life.
Not only that, Nier Automata came out this week, and I wanted to check that out, but I think that's going on the back burner until later this year. I can't do it. So.
See, part of me is like, just wait, and then it'll be like cheaper. But with the 20% off Prime discount, it's like it's already like only $50. Like, let's just do it.
Yeah, it's kind of already not a big deal for sure. Yep.
Okay, Fire Emblem Awakening.
I restarted it because this was my thinking, right? And this was because of Zelda. I've been playing Horizon. I've been playing Zelda. I'm like, I have no fucking time to actually play this game, but I love it. I really, really, really like Awakening. So I'm like, fuck it. I restarted it on the normal difficulty instead of the hard.
What do you want? Oh, okay.
So I'm just breezing through it. Like now I've caught back up to already to where I was, which is oh my god, what's after the twins? Do you know what I mean?
Dude, I played that game like 4 years
when
ago.
it came out 4 years ago. Yeah. Anyways, I restarted it to play it on an easier setting so I could get that story easy because I don't have time to like stress anymore about tactics. I just need to see what's going on now because
and I feel like on normal those games get, you're still going to be challenged.
This is the thing is that like I'm back to the part where I was and it's pretty much the same challenge except for there isn't as much of a fear that I will be one shot. Like I still can't really put a unit out there and expect him to live if I don't have like a strategy going for him, basically. So there's still that element of it, but like I don't have to really worry about just like, oh, this guy's gonna one shot your unit and then like you just lost a good unit.
That sucks.
Yeah. That game's so fucking good. It's real good. And
The Fire Emblem series is really good.
every moment I'm not playing another game, I'm actually playing that game. I'm so enthralled with it. It is amazing. And
Yep.
I feel bad that it took me this long to get to it, but here we are.
Cool.
Yeah. Boy. Okay. Let's talk about the Switch.
Right before we get into the Switch, I have to give my girlfriend her phone because she's outside of the room. So kill some time.
I'll kill some time by talking about the Switch without Sean. Now he can't fight me on it. Oh, what? Yeah. I really wish I hadn't said anything about the Switch. We should just talk more about how Horizon is the best video game ever made, and Breath of the Wild is garbage compared to it, actually. Tetris is garbage compared to it, actually. Like, pretty much every other game is trash, so... Burnout Paradise is garbage compared to it. What else can I say that now that when Sean comes back, he's going to be annoyed by? Looks like we lost. We don't have any more time. Anyways, yeah. Now that Sean's back, we can actually talk proper about the Switch, because unlike me, he has one. So
yeah, I got my Switch.
Yeah,
I like the Switch. It's a cool system.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that Friday or whenever you got it, because that would have been right after we recorded, the next day, right?
Yeah. So. Yeah, it was funny. So I got off work and I go to practice, and I come back from practice, and actually right before that I stopped at Subway and I had a coupon.
Okay.
To get like any sub for $6, and I was like, sweet, I'm gonna order the most expensive.
Have we talked about like what's your go-to sub from a Subway?
Cold cut.
Okay, that seems like a good.
The cold cut, foot-long cold cut is already $6, so I got this coupon to make anything $6. I'm picking the most expensive sandwich.
No, you're right.
I'm getting the rotisserie chicken or whatever.
Sure.
With deluxe meat, because why not? I'm going to treat myself 50% more.
Right. That's a really good price.
Yeah. Dude couldn't figure out how to use the coupon. Gave me the sub for free.
That's even better. Oh, man.
So I'm walking home, got my toasted sandwich, ready, waiting for the Switch. I get home, there's the Switch, and it's like, this is sweet, but I got to eat this first, and I got to take a shower, and it was just like all these things getting in the way of playing the Switch. But then I finally played the Switch.
Okay. I'm more enthralled that you got a free sub, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was a great Friday. Like,
yeah,
it was I'm not complaining about that Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Switch is cool. I got the system. I got Zelda 1-2 Switch. I ordered a case that didn't show up.
Okay.
Checking my Amazon orders. I guess they were just wrong, and it's gonna take like a month.
Oh,
that's insane. Yeah, like the current delivery date estimate was like somewhere between March 22nd and April 15th. When originally I would get it on the Friday.
Wow.
Yeah, so I emailed them being like, "Yo, what's up? Like, I pre-ordered this case. Where is it at?" And they're like, "Oh, we're sorry. Here's a $10 voucher."
Okay.
I was like, okay. Yeah, and then the free update a couple hours ago. I checked it. It's actually getting here on Tuesday. So there you go. Mass Effect Andromeda is now only $40.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about that.
Yeah. So the Switch, it's nice. The Joy-Cons are still small. They are still very tiny. Sure. And when they're in the Joy-Con grip, like I'm using the full controller, not the Pro controller, but the Joy-Con controller, it's real slippery.
Okay.
It's slippery controller. I'm not a big fan of it.
Is it because like the plastic or that they use?
The way the plastic is curved in certain ways, like it's a slippery controller, and the triggers. I don't like the triggers.
This is the first I've heard of this. I like it.
So like there's two triggers on each side. There's LR and ZL and ZR.
Okay.
And the ZL and ZR, those are like the triggers, and then L and R are like the bumpers.
Yeah.
So the triggers, they go like down towards you, kind of.
Okay. Yeah.
So kind of slippery.
Okay.
Okay. Kind of slip. My fingers will slip off them, but I'm so used to the Xbox One and the PS4 now, where they go the other way. They're like a gun trigger.
Okay. Yeah.
Where this one's of like they still have a bit of that curve, but it's a lot more inward. I don't it, I it's I'm I, It's a bad picture. I'm trying to make a mental picture for you, but hopefully you're figuring it out.
No, I got it. What I'm thinking is that after that free sub, you maybe should have washed your hands a little bit instead of getting that sub grease ever.
I've been having this all week. And then the bumpers are so skinny. They're like a third of the width of like a regular, like of like the PlayStation's L1 and R1.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they're skinny little buttons.
That's interesting. I had no idea.
It's weird. What it feels like is they were like, hey, this is also a portable console, so we gotta just like cram everything as small as we can.
Well, I mean, they were like, this is primarily a portable console. Let's be real here. Otherwise,
like,
yeah, okay.
At the moment, I've played most of it at my house.
Sure, but you also don't have a case, so
I don't have my case. But it's coming on Tuesday.
It's probably a good thing to not take it around yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
what did you play?
Okay.
Let's talk about. We'll talk about the big one after. Obviously.
Okay, so the other ones that I played some 1-2 Switch, and I was like, I don't know why I bought this, but I'm having a bunch of friends over Saturday night. If I'm gonna play it, I'm gonna play it right.
Yeah.
So a bunch of people, a bunch of young, mid to low 20-year-olds, in my apartment. This is perfect. Yeah. This is the exact scenario we want for 1-2 Switch.
Right.
And it was a good time. There was lots of laughter. Those games are real dumb.
Yeah.
And every single person that I showed the ball counting one to was blown away. And I was too. It actually feels like balls rolling down it through the vibration.
That's really good.
Like HD rumble.
Okay.
Every single person without fail, as soon as I started up the minigame for them, they were like, whoa, this is crazy.
Okay.
And I don't know how they're doing it, but when you tilt it a little bit to the side to make the balls roll so you can count them, it feels like one is moving down the controller. Like it's great. It is super cool.
Okay, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's the only HD Rumble game on the 1-2 Switch.
So far. I mean, it's one of the few games, period, on Switch.
Sorry, I said on 1-2 Switch.
Oh, on 1-2 Switch, okay.
Game. So at this point, it's like I had a good time on Saturday. That it was fun. But at this point, it's like I'm not going to play that game again. For the record, don't buy 1-2 Switch. It is like, wait for that thing to be $20. I just really wanted like something to play with my friends.
Yeah.
Wait
for that thing to be like $30 with a Joy-Con or something.
This thing would have been a great pack-in. Like, it would have been super good.
Okay.
It's crazy that it's not, and I still can't even really justify, like, why did I buy it? Like, it was a fun time, but I'm probably never playing that thing again. And at this point, it's basically just going to be someone's asking me how the Switch is. Well, you should try this one ball game, and that's about it. Like, you don't need to play the rest of the games. They're not that exciting. So I'm trying to think of some of the standouts. Milk. Everyone thought Milk was really funny.
Okay.
There's this one called Baby, which is the worst.
Why? What makes it the worst?
Okay, so normally you're playing with the Joy-Cons separately, and you got TV mode or whatever. This one, you have to plug the Joy-Cons into the Switch itself, and then a baby's face will be on the screen, and it's just crying. You have to rock the baby in your arms until it stops crying, and then you slowly need to put it down on the table without like shaking it or whatever, and then however long, and whoever can do it the fastest.
I mean, that makes sense. You should never shake your baby.
It is not fun, and it just sucks because you have to do that for like 45 seconds, and only one of you can play at a time.
Great.
So that one sucks. There's this air guitar one that sucks. We couldn't really figure out like what it was actually tracking. What were the ones we liked? Okay, we liked the ball one. There's a cool one where you have to like rotate it. It's called Safecracker, where you have to rotate it, and then at one point there'll be the vibration will feel different, and you got to like pinpoint it and hold it there for a bit, and you got to do that
That's
three
cool.
times faster than the other person.
Yeah.
That one's fine. Quick draw is fine. Nothing's amazing about quick draw.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of some of this, like the real standouts. Have you heard about that ball one? The ball one's pretty good.
The ball one.
Yeah, where you got to rotate it and count how many balls are in there. It uses HD. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I heard. That's cool. I really like that dumb thing that they showed that everybody's like, yeah, okay, like is actually a thing. That is like very impressive.
Rumble,
Yeah.
Again, this thing is not worth the $50. $50.
$50 American, I should say. For us, that's like 70. So
yeah, that is not worth that.
No.
20, 25 tops.
Mm-hmm.
This is like, where's my WarioWare? Because it's going to be good.
Right.
WarioWare is going to be good. Oh, there's one where you just, like eat a whole bunch of sandwiches using the IR sensor on one of the controllers. It's weird. Only one of the Joy-Cons. The left one. The left one?
Yeah.
The left one. Wait, the left one? Maybe. One of the Joy-Cons, regardless, has an IR sensor on the bottom. They both don't, which is weird. So I guess you got to be careful if you're buying new Joy-Cons. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the IR sensor, we got to like open and close your mouth a whole bunch like you're eating a sandwich. And that one only worked for half of us. I don't know if the lighting was weird. But that was kind of a bummer. There was a game that was kind of like Hot Potato where it was vibrating. Oh, another good one that we actually kind of liked. You have to put the Joy-Con down. I forget what this one was called. You put it down on the table, or we actually did it on the floor. And you have to pick it up slowly and precisely and rotate it.
Okay.
And if you rotate it too fast, or if your hand's shaking, it'll start to ding, the TV will. And if you get too many dings quick enough, you lose and you don't get any of the points. So you got to kind of like say, okay, this is good, and then bank the degrees you've rotated. And it's you against some other person, and you have 3 tries each, and the total of your 3 tries is the win. So we had people like picking it up off the floor and like rotating their whole body around, while other people were just like shouting in their ears and clapping on them to try and make them like flinch and stuff like that. That one was pretty fun.
Cool.
Yeah, so that was 1-2 Switch. I had the party. We enjoyed it. I doubt I'll ever play that game again.
Yeah, probably not.
So I can get an entire new set of people to come over and play it. I doubt I'll ever play it again.
Yeah.
Apart from that, picked up Snipper Clips.
Okay, what do you think?
Downloaded it. And I had, I was thinking like, now's the time. I'm finally going to just make a new Nintendo account. It's going to be an American one. I can buy stuff with American funds. I can stop dealing with my with my Nintendo Network ID that is stuck in Canada. And then I remembered, oh wait, this thing is like tied to like my email address. Like, I don't want to have to set up a different email account to make a new one. So I'm still back stuck with Canadian funds.
Yeah.
One that actually I need to remember to check my bank account. I was trying to pick up Snipper Clips, and I was like, maybe it'll let me use my American card? We can try that. So I put in my American credit card information, and it was like, hey, what's your postal code / zip code? And I was like, okay, yeah, well, I have a zip code down here, and I put my American card in, put in my zip code. It doesn't accept that. And I was like, oh, maybe it needs like a Canadian one. So still using my American account, my American card, I should say. I put in my Canadian, like my parents' postal code.
Yeah.
Went through.
Okay.
It let me download the game. It just said, oh, can you verify your info again? And I was like, sure. Even though I got a message on my phone saying it charged me.
Yeah.
I verified the info, and it asked me again to verify the info. And again, on my phone, it charged me.
Uh-oh.
So it didn't let me download the game, but I may have bought it twice.
Oh, God.
And I just remember to check my bank account and maybe contact Nintendo. I'm going to set a do that.
Yeah.
Like,
Siri.
Totally,
Siri, remind me. Bitch out Nintendo.
Why would it let me? Why, like it's weird. Like it went through half a transaction in the worst way possible for me.
Yeah, no, that's really bad.
How is it possible? Shouldn't credit cards be like secure enough to be like yes or no?
Yes, they should be.
So when you make a credit card transaction, they're kind of pending for a couple of days until it actually goes through.
Yeah.
Last I looked, they were still pending. Hopefully, maybe they just canceled and went, oh wait, this didn't actually happen. But I need to double check stuff. So I used my Canadian card, picked up Snipper Clips. That game is delightful. It is a ton of fun. The animation is great. Those characters, like, they got fun little movement with their feet and their squinty eyes and stuff. And I've been playing with my girlfriend to figure out all the different puzzles. They got a great variety of different ways to use that tool set. Some will be like you and your teammate have to cut each other up and then fit into a shape properly. Other ones will be there's a shape they want you to cut out of the background, so you need to like cut out a shape out of the background. There's ones where you and your partner are on the side of the screen, and on the other side there's a bunch of pieces that look just like you, and they don't move with the analog stick with you, but they'll rotate and they'll cut the same way you do. And you have to like move an egg around on the other side of the screen by cutting your partner and you up and rotating and controlling the other pieces. Those are kind of like the boss levels. And those are real difficult and really fun. So it's totally creative. There's a bunch of different ideas in there. I've only played through the first world already, and I don't know how many worlds there are. But I unlocked the second world, and it's all different layouts and whatnot. I think it even goes up to 4 players. I only had 2, and I only can do 2. I only got the 2 controllers.
Okay.
But with the Switch, built in, coming with 2 controllers is fantastic. Like, that is so good.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Out of the box. That's a good feature. Okay, let's talk about the big one. Let's talk about Breath of the Wild.
And we've actually been playing 2 different versions, I'm guessing. You got it on Switch, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I've been playing it on Wii U, so...
So I'm looking at like Digital Foundry in terms of like the comparison, and it seems like yours does have some frame rate issues in certain spots that mine doesn't, and mine has some frame rate issues in spots that yours doesn't.
Yes.
I know that mine, when it's docked, runs at 900p.
Yep. That's right.
And on the tablet, it's 720.
Yep.
But from what I understand, on the tablet, there's no frame rate issues.
Okay.
It's downscaling it.
Sure.
So it seems like the tablet mode might be the actual like smoothest, best way to play it, which is interesting.
Sure. Yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, you pretty much summed it up. That's exactly it. So, between the 2 different versions,
they look identical. I was looking at screenshots. Yeah. They look almost exactly the same.
They look all basically the same. There are differences, but it's so negligible that when you're playing the actual game, like, you would have to be an insane person to actually notice the difference regularly. So
the second screen, how does it utilize both those screens?
It doesn't.
No, but the Wii U, it's all about 2 screens. How does it utilize that second screen?
It doesn't.
There's
nothing there. When you tap on it, it's like taking the Switch out of its dock. Like, I can play it on the tablet. Like, I can play it on the TV, and then if I tap the tablet for the Wii U, it's on the Wii U instantly, and I can walk around with it.
Or like an inventory thing?
No.
Awesome.
It's built the exact same. So
that's okay. Weird.
Which is, yeah, it is weird because, I mean, you're carrying that Sheikah slate in the game, which is supposed to be a Switch, obviously, because it's Nintendo.
Or a Wii U tablet.
Or a Wii U tablet. And this is the thing, is that I literally have in my hand the Sheikah slate, and you're not giving me the information on it.
Tablet, so do I. Like, they're basically the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For what it's worth, snapping between the TV and the Wii U tablet is seamless. Like, there's no skip at all. When you go into the Wii U menu and then back, there is like a 30-second to minute delay while it tries to try to make the game go try to refresh where you were in the game or something. Like, it takes a second.
Like
So,
when you go to like the Wii U's dashboard.
like if you hit the Wii U button to go to the like screen that says like close the
Like
thing or
settings
whatever.
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
That's
If you,
weird.
yeah, it doesn't like that at
If you
all.
hit the home button on mine, it's pretty fast and there's no delay.
Sure. So I guess there's that difference too. Um, I haven't been hitting that a lot. I usually just pause the game if I'm like going somewhere, and then like dock it for later. But
That's another weird thing about the Switch. So it has a sleep mode.
yeah,
If you just tap the power button, or if you hold down the home button and then select. So if you hold down the home button on the Joy-Con, you can put it into sleep mode or adjust the brightness. If you tap the power button on the tablet, it'll just immediately go to sleep mode. If you want to turn it off, you have to turn the system off completely. You have to hold down the power button on the tablet, on the tablet, and then select power settings, turn off. And I still don't know, because I've had it pop up like turn on sometimes. I don't know if there's a specific button to turn the Switch on. Every time I want to play it, I just start button mashing all the buttons on the Joy-Con until something turns my screen on. It's weird. I'm waiting for like someone to be like, here's the things that no one actually told you about the Switch and how to use it.
I want to address one thing that happened in the chat while we were like talking here. Somebody asked a question. Let me see. Like, this is one I've been thinking about a little bit. The question is basically, should I get a Wii U in Breath of the Wild or Switch in Breath of the Wild? If you don't own a Wii U already, get a Switch with Breath of the Wild. Like, if you're buying a console.
I don't know about that. I've heard this discussion before.
Yeah.
And at this point, so the Switch will be 300. You can probably get a Wii U for what, 200?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
It's probably somewhere around 200. The games are going to cost the same regardless, so you can cancel out that price. But the Switch has no other good games. I mean, it has snipper clips.
Yet.
That's the thing is yet.
Yeah.
Or you could have like access to like a dozen good games on the Wii U that you already missed. Like you already have that whole catalog.
Yeah. So
I've been hearing a lot of people talking like now might actually be a pretty good time to pick up a Wii U. Like if Breath of the Wild is your main thing and you don't really care about going forward or whatever, like I'm just saying, for the person who's like really into Zelda, maybe get a Wii U and then you have access to 3D World, Splatoon, Mario Kart 8.
I mean,
Game &
Wind
like
Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD, if you're into Zelda specifically. It could be your Zelda box.
You have all these other games that you already missed instead of just waiting for the Switch to get these games. Because, hey, maybe a year from now, you've saved up enough funds to get a Switch. And now there's 3 games on the Switch you want to play as opposed to 1.
That's the thing, is that I don't know, man. As far as I'm concerned, my advice, if you don't have a console to play it yet, and you want a console, just get the one that they're going to be releasing new stuff on so you can try it out. Like Mario Odyssey later this year, the little like indie lineups and stuff that are coming out and are out for it and all that sort of stuff. I would say just go with the Switch. If you can find one as well.
I think I would say the Wii U. I'd say get the Switch when there's games on it.
It's weird because we're taking the opposite stance here.
Yeah, and I'm the one that bought the Switch.
The Switch,
like,
yeah.
I mean, I bought it because I like being a part of like all the new hype and being part of the zeitgeist for sure. But I just think right now, if you were to pick up a Switch or a Wii U, you'd get way more bang for your buck with the Wii U. Like after
you're probably
Zelda,
right
I'm
about
not
that.
touching my Wii U until this fall. Like I guess Splatoon 2 comes out this summer, so I'm not touching it for like 4 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild.
How much did we play? How many hours you put into it?
I'm gonna say probably about 15 to 20, somewhere in there.
Okay, I think I'm around 6 to 8.
Okay, fair enough. So not crazy people level. We should go to, because I have seen people that are just like the second day the Switch was out, like, well, just beat Zelda. What a good game. I'm just like, Are you fucking serious? Why?
Hey, well, hey, if you like Zelda, hey, play to Heart's Content. People have been waiting for this Zelda. Um, that game is super fun. When I'm not playing Zelda, I'm thinking about playing Zelda.
Yeah.
All I can think, and like, I haven't even been doing a ton of the story quests. I love just like climbing to the tops of stuff and finding shrines and like upgrading Link. Like that's the most fun, is just being like, I'm gonna go to the top of that mountain because I bet I'm gonna be able to find like 3 other things.
Yeah. That's how I played for the first probably 10 hours or so, for sure. And then
So where you?
then you get to a part where you unlock more of the map, and you're like, this map is way too fucking big, dude. I can't just keep exploring.
Isn't it huge? It was basically like when it was around the time I was like, wow, this is pretty big. And then she was like, you need to find the 4 guardians or whatever it is, and they point to where on the map you need to go. And it was just like, oh god, that's literally like 10 times the size that I've just spent the last 5 hours in. Like, holy smokes, I already thought it was pretty big.
Yeah. No, for sure. It terrifies me as somebody who plays games when they're coming out to talk about them, and because I like that this game... Okay, here's the thing, is that if I was, like, younger, and I got a Switch, and I got this game, I wouldn't care that it's gonna take months until the next game came out, because there is so much game in this fucking game.
Yeah, this is a great purchase. This is like...
There's 2 other games I wanted to check out this week that I'm not. So, like, I can't just explore this giant open world thing. I kind of want to have a purpose in it. So that's kind of where I'm at now. I did spend a lot of time exploring, and I'm at the point where I'm just like, no, I'm going to start, like, really actually working towards the main story quest, which you get... Like, just straight up, you get the thing to, like, save the world, basically, as your second story quest, and you're just like, oh, okay. Let's just go do that now, then. But, yeah, no, I'm starting to make waves more of, like, I'm going to an area and doing the other quests that, like, without getting into what the story thing is, that, like, they expect you to do to complete the final objective. So, like, I've been working more towards that now. But a lot of my time beginning off was just kind of doing whatever and seeing, like, what was around. And that's really cool.
Like, it's dense. It's such a dense map. Like, most of the time I would be like, no, I just want to beeline the quests, like, whatever. But there's so much stuff in this that I know it's like, if I just start walking this direction, I will come across something cool. Like,
for sure.
If I see something tall, it's almost guaranteed there's something cool on the top of that mountain. Even if it's just like a collectible that I know is going to be able to help me upgrade myself, or if I do climb up something, I'll be able to see something else that I can glide down to. I love that you get the glide so early. That thing is, I love just like fast traveling to a tower and then jumping off of it. That's great.
Mm-hmm. I do have problems with the game that we'll get into in a second.
Okay.
But, yeah, let's keep talking about good.
This isn't really a spoiler. I mean, all your favorite, like, you know, the Zoras are there, the Gorons are there. And the first time I came across, like, a Goron, I was like, man, I haven't seen a Goron in so long. This is great.
Yeah.
This is so good to see you. Like, it was like your old buddy again, and, like, I came across a Zora, and I'm like... I've just been talking to humans this whole time. You're a Zora. Yeah, I love Zelda. Like, it was just a great, like, nostalgic thing of like, man, it's been a while since I've been hanging out with, like, in the Zelda world.
Yeah, for sure. And, like, whatever. If people are getting mad about, like, spoilers, you play as Link to defeat Ganon and save Zelda in Hyrule. It's the literal same story every time. Like, there's different things going on in, like, the minutia behind it, but come on, let's chill if you're actually gonna get upset about that shit. Okay.
What aren't you liking? Because there's very little I
fucking hate the weapon system. I hate the...
Okay, that's I'm just kind of annoyed with it.
Okay, man, I am gonna just level with you for a second. I was ready to fight you because so many people I've talked to that I've been like, yeah, I think the weapon system's bad. They're like, no, it's really good. And I've just been like, well, it isn't. And like, have been getting into arguments with people all week. I'm happy that you at least realize.
Well, okay. What are you disliking about it?
The fact that your weapons break after 3 swings, basically.
Okay.
Like, everything.
I'm okay with that because you get so many weapons so fast that I just can't even pick
Yeah,
up
the thing
them
is I don't want so many weapons so fast because I just want Link to have the Master Sword. Like, I don't need a Dark Souls weapon system where I can train up or something and have, like, nunchucks and katanas and, like, I don't fucking care about any of this. Give me the Master Sword. We're good. That's all. That's all I need.
I'm going to disagree on this point because I like being forced to use like, all right, I guess I'm using your actual arm against you now. When you pick up like a skeleton arm, I like that you sometimes get like a spear and stuff like that, and I just like throwing the weapon at the enemy.
Throwing the weapon's fine, actually. I don't have a problem with that.
If you throw them when it's near breaking and it breaks on impact, you do like double damage. Like it is so great being like, well, I got 1 hit left with this club, and then just throwing it and watching it explode on that guy. It was like that feels great. I love that. I love that.
Maybe for the first little bit.
I've still been pretty into it. Like I said, I'm getting swords all the time. The thing I don't like is like you just have to like hold down button, like too many buttons to select the weapon you want. Okay. You can't drop bows and shields from the quick buttons, but you can swords. Like that's kind of a weird oversight. Like you can throw the sword, but you can't throw your bow or the shield. You have to go into the settings.
So the controls in general are like my second point that I don't like about this game, but I chose the hill I'm going to die on is the weapon system.
Like, to select a bow, you have to hold down right on the D-pad and ZR, and then you can do bows. Like it took me a while to be like even now I still get mixed up with what ZL and L does. There's so many times where it's like, all right, I got a bomb and I'm going to throw it at you, and I end up just dropping it on the ground. It's like, oh wait, no, crap. I got to press that one and then this one.
Then you got to push R to throw it, and then you detonate it with L. Yeah,
like there's a lot going on.
For sure.
Not only is it a dense world, but like mechanically it is really dense as well.
I don't like the button mapping either. And this could be fixed if they just let me like choose which buttons did what. It's that
talking
simple.
About like run and jump.
Like I'm talking about run, jump. I don't like that crouch is on like pushing the analog stick in. For me, that should be run. Like just little things like that I wish I could change. But of course I can't.
It's weird that there's very little to the controls because they do have some control change, but the only one you can do is switch run with jump.
Yeah,
that's and it's like why wouldn't you let me move more of stuff around?
As Homer puts it, like when you throw a boomerang, you have to catch it when it comes back, which is cool and fucked up.
I like that because if they throw a boomerang, you can just catch it out of the air, and it's like, what now, motherfucker? That's right, I got your boomerang.
Like, the physics stuff in this game is what makes it fun, for sure, like that. The fact that, like, you can create an updraft from starting a fire and using your, like, paraglider to use it to, like, go up in the air.
I did not know that.
Physics-based stuff works.
Oh, I didn't know
in this
that.
Game.
That's cool.
There's cool shit in this game, for sure.
Like, it's definitely, like, the evolution of The Legend of Zelda. Like, there is so much going on with this. Like, it is the next step for sure. It's not just like, hey, we put a couple more things into this. We got a whole set of new items. It is like Nintendo looked at the last like 5 years, maybe 10 years gaming. Of games. And we're like,
for sure.
We can do this better. Like we can.
The thing is I don't think they do it better.
No, you don't think it's better?
I don't think so. I think they do all of the parts that they've taken from other games like that other people have tried. They put them together well for this thing. But I think like the weapons degrading, for example, is fine in like Dark Souls because it just, I don't know, there's something about it that was a little bit better. I mean, all of the like physics-based stuff has been done better in a lot of different games, open world games. Open world games are kind of just that, though. So, of course, this is kind of their first foray into it. Like, the way they put them together is very good, but I don't know, man. I'm at this point, I'm just at I just wanted a Zelda game. Like, I just kind of wanted another game
I
where
still think, regardless of how much it's like evolved and they put into this, it still feels like such a Zelda game.
I don't
like,
agree.
It's still weird, goofy. You're picking up 10
It is
chickens
weird,
for this
goofy.
dude, and when you jump off a cliff while holding a chicken above your head, you're gonna glide a little bit. Um, what else? Like the combat system from Wind Waker, where you need to dodge and then you can go in for like a super attack. That's
No, I do like
directly in
that.
there and stuff.
I do like that.
I still
Yeah.
think it's like this. Regardless of how much it's changed, it still feels like Zelda.
But then the problem with that, like specifically using that example, you like do the dodge to go in for your fury swipes, and then you just wrecked the weapon you had because you just did all of the hits that weapon could sustain all at one time. Like, I don't know. For me, it's a huge problem.
So not an issue for me.
It's
I
the
get way
biggest
too many
issue for me.
weapons.
It's such an issue. It makes me think that this is not a perfect game and maybe an 8 out of 10. It's actually that bad.
I'm not saying the game's perfect in any way. I'm just saying I don't care that the weapons break.
That's fine.
I get too many weapons.
No, that's fine. I'm just saying a lot of people are saying it's a perfect game, and I think this is I think in a game that is very, very good, it's easy to see a fault for like this as a glaring fault because there's so little other problems I have with it. Everything else about it is so like enthralling to me that the fact that this little thing that they've done right every other time isn't is like a super bummer.
Okay, but so you're saying the fact that the weapons break is such a big deal?
It's the biggest deal out of every problem that this game has.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. Well, okay. Is it okay? Then the question is it a big deal? Like it's the biggest one, but is it a big deal? Like, you seem to still be enjoying this game quite a bit.
It becomes a little bit less of one because of story reasons, but it's still a big deal. Also because of story, it's hard to talk around what I really want to say, but I'm not going to say it because people
don't spoil any spoilers.
No,
you're definitely ahead of me as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
well, I mean, I'm sure you'll get the Master Sword at some point, and I doubt that thing's gonna break.
Okay, this is what I wanted to talk about. That fucking thing breaks.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that. I'm nowhere near the Master Sword, so no more spoilers.
Yeah. And like
That's
to be
weird.
clear, because people like also say there's like no, it doesn't. It does. It regenerates like by itself, sort of thing. So it's not gone, but it does break. It's not as big of a deal. But
Weird.
yeah. What Sweet Pastel Sophie is saying is kind of like what she I'm guessing is saying is that every weapon found on an enemy is more meaningful. I disagree because it's more like I don't want to fight the lesser enemies now because this weapon is too good. I don't want it to break on like a bokoblin when I'm gonna need it for this boss.
Sure. I've heard that sentiment before.
So I kind of just don't want to fight anything if it isn't a boss now. And there's a lot more non-bosses than there are bosses in this game.
Right. The way I'm like, I was thinking about that too, and it's like, well, either way, I'm going to end up getting their weapon, if not multiple of their weapons, and also I'm going to be able to get all of their like horns and stuff, which will help me enhance other things. Like I'm going to get more out of this, even if I'm going to lose like 2 clubs or whatever. Also, I don't really like using any weapon that's not just a short sword. I don't like the long swings that like the claymores and the big clubs take. I just want to get in there and slash some dudes.
This is the thing, is the one thing you're saying you don't like is the one thing that I'm like, well, people that like Souls games probably like this change because every weapon feels a little bit different. But like this is literally the one thing you don't want. It's like the sword.
I'm just saying I like the fast ones. Like when it comes to which weapons I'm going to use a sword, I'm going to use a spear because you can like jab them a bunch, or I'm going to use like a sickle, or I'm going to take a boomerang and I'm going to run up to a dude and hit him with that boomerang really fast or something.
Like I feel like I need to clarify because I always need to clarify. People have been giving me shit about this literally all week. Is that I love this game so freaking much that the fact that there's a problem with like the basic way I play it for me is infuriating. That's why I'm making a big deal out of this. Also, like if this was just a case of like, well, it takes you forever to get the Master Sword, but once you get that, like that's it, baby. You're the hero because you have your weapon now. Like if that was the case, then I would be like, fine, I concede. Like the Master Sword should be the most important thing ever. But oh man,
Maybe there's a double Master Sword. You don't know.
You're right. I don't know, and
It's a whole new world.
I'm actually like holding out hope.
Maybe there's like a Grand Master Sword.
I'm holding out hope that there's like a thing that will just be like, well, you're gonna temper your Master Sword, and it's gonna be like, remember when you did that shit in what was it, Link to the Past, and you got the better sword because they tempered it. It's like maybe that's gonna happen here.
I bet.
Yeah.
And it makes more sense now than ever. I bet like the Biggerong sword is in here because they already have claymores.
Sure.
So
yeah,
like,
why not, right?
Yeah. Like there's so much to this. I wouldn't be surprised if it's in there. Have you gotten any horses or anything?
Okay. Yes, because it's super easy to. But straight up, if you use an amiibo, you get Epona.
Okay, so I don't have any of the amiibo.
Okay.
I did see a video of a guy who had Wolfling running around with him. That was interesting.
That's cool.
I haven't gotten any horses yet because I just learned how to do it, but I haven't seen a horse since.
Okay. Have you been around like the main Hyrule open field area in the middle yet? A bunch?
Yeah, I mean, like I've seen horses, but then when I found like the ranches or whatever, and they explained how to deal with horses, I just haven't been back to a horse area since.
Right.
So next time I see some horses, I'm gonna sneak up on them. What's your Link wearing? Because I've had this like knight's armor for a while that I'm not a huge fan of.
Knight's armor?
Yeah.
I don't think I even have that. Okay.
I got it in. What's the town you go to after Kakariko Village? It starts with like an H or something.
Yeah. Hatsuna? Is that it?
No,
Hatsuna?
but it's where like the scientist is. You know what I'm talking about?
I do. Yeah, it's the second town. Shop. Oh my god, Hateno?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyways,
she
had there's a whole knight's armor set there, and I picked up the I don't know, the torso piece of it, and I'm wearing that, and it makes swimming impossible. Well, not impossible, but it sucks anytime I need to swim.
I bet. I have Zora armor, Hylian armor, and
you're hanging on to different armor.
Oh yeah, I'm holding on to like, because they have different things. And what the fuck is the armor that makes you stealth? Is it Sheikah armor?
I don't know, but you get it in Kakariko Village, don't you?
Yeah, that one.
It's like really basically expensive, so I didn't pick any of that up because it was also it was really weak.
Right, because it's meant for stealthing. Right. So basically, and like the Zora armor is for swimming faster or better or whatever they call it. Better, I guess. Right. You lose stamina less quickly, I'm guessing.
What's your go-to when you're like fighting? Like, what's your strongest armor?
I probably don't have a strongest. I like the Hylian armor just because it's like, I like the look of it. I dyed it green so it looks more like Zelda tunic. Okay. Like I know there is like the standard Link tunic. I just don't have that one yet. So like,
I'm on my way to the Zora Den right now, so it's been a while since I've been able to buy stuff.
I'm excited to talk to you when you're done that part, because the Zora domain is probably one of my favorite parts look-wise that I've seen.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm currently like working my way up there, going through all these like electric enemies.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what part you're talking about.
They hit me once, and it's like, oh god, I am almost dead. So that was like the other thing is like, every time I upgrade myself, and I talked about it on our Discord, I was asking people, do I want another heart container or do I want stamina?
Yeah.
And so far I've gone heart, stamina, and I'm about two orbs away from another boost. I think I'm going to go heart next.
Yeah. See, what I've done is all stamina, and now I'm starting to do hearts because you can make food that gives you like bonus hearts that like disappear when they're gone. So I've just been making that food to like.
Do you have a go-to recipe?
No, which is super nice actually. But Okay, so here's the thing. Why can't you buy a cookbook and just like write down in the game the recipes that you've discovered? Because
I've heard there's a cookbook. I wish there was.
yeah.
I have heard that you can like read and find recipes, but it doesn't like log them for you.
It doesn't log them, which I like, but at the same time, like if I've made it once, like give me an option to take out my little Sheikah tablet and scribble down a note that I like added boar meat with an egg or something. Like, come on, man.
Yep. I wish you could also like batch cook, because at the moment right now, if you're like, well, I know that this mushroom and this bug will make this like, I don't know, 2 heart regeneration thing. If you grab like 2 of that mushroom and 2 of the bug, it does a 4 heart regeneration instead of 2 2s. And I wish you could kind of set up like, hey, I'm gonna actually want 2 instead of like a 4.
I mean, I kind of like the way they do it now. You're right, that would be one way to fix it. Another way to fix it would just be like have a recipe book and then say I want to make some of this, and queue them up. Like or something. Or
I do like the cooking music.
Yeah, I love the cooking music for sure.
That's pretty fun while you're doing it.
Yeah.
That the seed guy, that huge seed dude.
I can't remember his name. The Korok seeds that you have to collect.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. That guy's fun with the maracas.
He's great.
He's always. Anytime I come across him, it's like, hey, I found you again. This is great. This is totally awesome.
Yeah, that guy's great. I love that guy.
He's a good guy. And it's cool because those guys were in Wind Waker, but they were all small, and then this guy's giant.
Hetsu, apparently, is his name?
Hetsu, that is his name. Yeah, Hetsu.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else to bring up.
That isn't like straight up story stuff. Well, I'll tell you the biggest thing I like about this game.
Okay.
Is that it takes me back to how these games used to be when like you start it up and there's just kind of like a quick blurb with someone being like, you're the hero that we need, come help us. And then there's just open world. And it's like, well, go on, hero, have your adventure. And there's not like 20 minutes of like you going through dialogue and like, you should collect some apples for me so you can test out our new like stealth system for getting around the pigs or something. Like there's no weird little intro part. It's just kind of like you're in this cave, you wake up, you kind of don't really know what the hell's going on. You have a voice in your head. You get to the outside of the cave where there's light, and then there's just like this giant world that you are allowed to step into now. Go.
I don't know. The shrines kind of act as tutorials.
The shrines are more like little portal rooms. Like they're really good.
In some way they are, but the first few you get there, like the dodging mechanic and the fury, that is straight up a shrine.
In the very beginning.
Yeah.
Well, they're showing you like how to play, but they're not like going through this huge like hour-long process of introducing you to the world. The world's just there. That you go into.
It's definitely a lot faster than Skyward Sword was, definitely. But on the topic of the shrines, I love the shrines are so much fun.
The shrines are,
and they're so bite sized that it's like this was just enough. Like it was just difficult enough. It's like this is great. I've done shrines mostly so far, and I just love searching for shrines and doing shrine stuff.
Yeah. I agree with you for the most part. There's a few shrines that I've just been kind of like, come on, but that's fine. A few
There's
out of
one I absolutely hated, and it's the one that's like the game Labyrinth with the ball.
Yeah, yep.
And people online keep complaining about this one too. That's the worst shrine. I understand, and I'm glad it doesn't get worse than that because that one just kind of sucked.
Yeah. Flat Matt brings up a good point about the shrines, that he likes how you can solve the shrines in multiple ways. It's the physics-based thing. Like, the one you're talking about specifically, the way I solved it was flinging the ball into, like, the end area.
Yeah.
So,
or you can just kind of rotate it so when the ball falls, it, like, falls in a different spot.
Yeah, like, for a straightaway.
There's been a lot of shrines where I've just, like, barely, like, made it through, and it's like, well, I don't know if I was supposed to do that, but I jumped far enough, and I was just able to climb a little bit, so, okay, I'm done. Bye now.
That's... Honestly, I don't think I've solved, like, a shrine in a while the way they wanted you to solve it. I've just kind of somehow done it.
Just, like, cheated your way. It's like, I don't know if they wanted me to put all this ice here and make a wall, but it worked for me.
And I think that's when a game does, like, that's kind of perfectly what a game should be, when it's a series of mechanics put together so well that like the player can subvert the game's own expectations on how to do a thing and do it anyways. I think is like one of the highest praises you can give a video game. So there you go.
It's a great game, and like I said, when I'm not playing it, I'm just thinking about when the next time I'm going to get to play it is. And that's kind of what's really great about the Switch is it's like, oh, going to my girlfriend's place. Well, I'm bringing the Switch with me because I don't need to like plug it into a TV, and I can just play it in tablet mode. That's the real nice thing. I haven't done it on the train yet because honestly, I need to pay attention to that game quite a bit. I need both my hands, and usually I just have one hand and I'm on the train.
Have you seen other people with it on the train?
No,
okay.
That's the thing is I'm almost embarrassed to do that because it's like it's worse than the guy holding up like the iPad taking a picture with it.
No, there's nothing worse than that guy. It's still not worse.
I don't know. Like this thing I just feel like it's screaming, "Look, this guy's playing video games. Look at this guy. He's playing Zelda right now."
Yeah. The guy driving the train, or like security's just going through the train, they look at you, they're like, "Is that a Sheikah tablet?" Just making fun of you. A Sheikah Slate or whatever.
He pulls out an amiibo out of his pocket. This will help you out. Enjoy the horse.
Some weird like back alley dealer of amiibo support.
Yeah. Just scans it on my system for me and then takes off into the crowd.
The way, like, I'll describe this for people who don't do the amiibo thing or like haven't tried it. It's kind of weird how that works. It's a rune for in game for your Sheikah Slate.
I saw the icon on a screenshot. Yeah.
So what you do is you choose it like you would the like bombs or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then you aim it as if you were aiming something in game, and then you put the amiibo on, and whatever the amiibo gives you, it'll like appear where you like in game where you laid it or whatever. Usually drops out of the sky. So that's kind of weird. A weird thing where you can just make it rain crates of dumb shit.
Which amiibos have you used?
Zelda, Ganondorf, Sheik, and Link, of course. Link.
And do they all give you one specific thing, or is it just random?
I believe it's a chance for stuff. So I didn't know that apparently Zelda's able to give you like a dope ass shield, because I got a pretty good bow from her.
Okay.
From Link, I got Epona, however you want to say her name, the horse.
Okay. Yeah.
Ganondorf gave me a shitload of
just like a big middle finger. He just took like 4 hearts from you. That's all that happened.
Yeah. A shitload of what's it called? Like minerals or whatever that you can sell or craft with. I'm not really sure where you take them to craft yet. So
I've just been selling them for the most. If they sell for a lot, I've been selling them.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So they're just basically like airdrops, which is pretty good.
Okay, yeah. Cool. And how often can you do them? Is it a time, or is it just as much as you want?
I don't actually know, because I only tried it once. I've been trying to just get through story ever since. Like, I've just been trying to get through that game. Also, the dungeons are cool, but I won't talk more about that.
Yeah, I haven't even. That's a crazy thing, is I haven't even seen a dungeon yet.
Yeah.
I'm like 8 hours into this game, and I haven't seen something even close to a dungeon, which I hear the dungeons are great, but it's just weird to think like the dungeons are not the main thing in a Zelda game.
Once per day, people are saying.
For the amiibos. Okay. Yeah, because that would be weird if you could just like keep doing it. That would kind of like break a lot of the challenge.
For sure. Yeah.
It's like, oh crap, this amazing bow just broke. Sky gods, hear my plea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Any final thoughts on Zelda? I'm sure we'll be talking about it for weeks.
I mean,
especially when John gets back.
Yeah, as like an open world story-based thing, I think right now I'm still more enthralled with Horizon because it's new, but Horizon is not a quarter of the game that this fucking thing is. Like, Zelda is probably the biggest game I've ever seen on a console.
Okay, cool.
So, and that is terrifying in a way that I don't know how to deal with, but I've been having a lot of fun with it.
And you're playing on the gamepad or using like a pro controller or anything?
Oh no, playing on the gamepad or tablet or whatever. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
I've been primarily playing it with the tablet while like the girlfriend uses a TV to watch TV or something. So
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. All right. With that, let's go on to the tiny bit of news we have.
Okay.
The third, and I don't know if it's final, but next Box Boy game got announced. This showed up on the UK Nintendo site or whatever, and I guess there's already a free demo of it. I don't know if it's on in North America, but Bye Bye Box Boy is going to be coming out March 23rd. Looks like it's €5. Which I don't know is like $7 American, which would make this the most expensive one, but maybe it'll be $5 over here as well. Who knows? So that's great. I'm looking forward to that. More Box Boy. Box Boy's always great. Looks like there's different colored stuff, little tiny Box Boy kids or something. So more puzzling. That'll be good. PS4 got the 4.5 update today.
Oh.
And this is the one that gives it the boost mode. This is the for the Pro. So you can try out the HDR and all the upgraded games that are supported. Along with that, you can make custom backgrounds. You can plug in now external hard drives to use, which is a big one.
Yeah, that is.
Trying to see if there's anything else that's... Oh, here's something crazy about the Switch that came out. You can't transfer game saves. They are locked to the console.
Okay, so what if my console bricks and I need to buy a new one? I just start the game over again?
You?
How do they not still just be able
and
to do cloud saving?
Yeah, well, not even that. On the 3DS and the Wii U, you could transfer your saves to an SD card or something external and then move them that way. You can't do that.
What I'm getting at is if they're charging for online services, this is the most base online service. Let me put this 100 kilobyte save file to the cloud under my name so I never have to worry. Holy shit.
No, the system has 32 internal gigs. I picked up a 200 gig SD card, which I'm assuming will last me for a while. You cannot put game saves on SD cards. They have to go on the internal memory.
That's actually that makes me mad. That actually makes me mad.
2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's the Nintendo motto.
Zelda's so good. How could they do it?
Yeah. Anyway, so hopefully nothing happens to my system because I'd have to start Zelda over again.
I hope you like Legend of Zelda because you're gonna be playing it forever. Your save's gonna corrupt every time right before the end.
Oh God, no! That's literally what happened to me with Wind Waker for so long. For whatever reason, my memory card would just die. I played through like the first 2/3 of Wind Waker like 3 times.
Man,
yeah, that stupid memory, like third-party memory card I had. That was the worst.
I'm gonna back up my Zelda save after this.
So yeah, 4.5 for the PlayStation 4 is out. If you have a Pro, you can take advantage of that. If you don't have a Pro, you can still do external hard drives and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the last chunk of news I grabbed was, so I mentioned Rime, that I played it last week.
Yeah.
It got a release date and pricing that was a little funky. So it's coming out May 26th for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Okay.
And those are going to be $30. Later on, it's going to be coming, like shortly after, it'll be coming to the Switch for $40.
Okay.
And no real reason. We got a statement from them saying, we set prices for our products based on the cost of development and publishing for each specific platform. So maybe developing for the Switch is harder?
Nope, it's because the Switch has no games, so they're more likely to get that money.
Yeah, I don't know. People are wondering, like, is this going to be some weird kind of like Nintendo tax?
Man,
like, who knows?
That's a bummer. Like, I hope this is just the creators of that game being kind of douchey, and not a Nintendo tax.
Yeah. So no one really said exactly why that is the case, but Yeah, that's weird, and that's not great for Nintendo. If anything, they need more games on that system. They don't need to make it harder for people to get games on that system.
This is what I'm thinking is that, like, let's be real here. Duck Game is coming out on Switch. Like, I don't think Duck Game would be coming out on Switch if there was a $10 Nintendo tax, because that game is like $15. So, I think this is just the creators of this game trying to milk a little bit of extra money.
I'll read another part from this Kotaku article.
Okay.
Today, during a Facebook stream, a fan asked Nintendo of America boss Reggie Fils-Aimé why some games cost more on Switch. And he replied, "We don't make that pricing decision. When you see those differences in prices, call up that third-party publisher and ask them." So this is, I don't know who's publishing Rime. It's developed by Tequila Works. Maybe they're publishing it too. It doesn't quite say. But regardless, this is not on Nintendo's end. So I guess you can't really say it's an... So this is weird. If I'm thinking correctly, isn't Puyo Puyo Tetris also more expensive on the Switch than the PS4 version coming out?
I have no idea.
Let me quickly look that up. Hang on. Puyo.
Honestly, maybe it's just the cynicism coming out or whatever. I think this is just developers sees people wanting to play stuff on Switch, says, I will charge more to give them this opportunity because I like money more than I like my fans.
Okay, I'm looking on Amazon right now.
Okay.
For a physical copy of Puyo Puyo Tetris on PlayStation 4, it is $30. Okay. For a physical copy of the upcoming one on... I guess they're both upcoming. Physical copy of the Nintendo Switch version, it is $40.
Okay.
So once again, $10 more.
So two companies that are shitty.
And I believe the digital version for Puyo Puyo Tetris will be $30, I think.
Okay.
So I don't know. But that's two cases of the Switch one being $10 more.
I think that people with Switches should decide the market for this thing while it's still in its infancy and not pay extra money just because that game is out on the console you own.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No.
You should not be doing this shit.
Buy the game elsewhere. Get the cheapest one you can.
Yep.
This is stupid. Like,
yeah.
But what's crazy is the way I'm thinking of it, Nintendo needs games on this platform. They should not be making it harder. But I guess this is the developer's decision. But why would they do that?
I can't see them making it harder because I know, going back to Duck Game again, I know the guy who made that thing. And he says it was incredibly easy to do with Nintendo. So,
Yeah. Hopefully, maybe we'll get more light on this in the future.
Don't buy Rime.
People are saying this just seems like greedy devs. If that was the case, why wouldn't that price be bigger on the other platforms as well?
Because the Switch is the new hotness, and that's what the kids have now.
Are they just hoping people will pay whatever right now because they want a game for it?
Absolutely.
Maybe that's the case. Who knows?
Absolutely. Yep.
Maybe. Someone just posted a full overview on Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Okay.
We'll be releasing only in physical format on the PlayStation 4 and will cost $30 at retail. The Switch version will have a digital version for $30 and a special retail edition for $40.
Okay, so the $10 there is probably a printing cost of you can buy this digitally, but if you want the physical thing.
But why isn't the printing cost for the PlayStation 4 the same?
Because disc versus cartridge, maybe. It's super easy to make a disc, mass-produced discs.
Yes. That's weird. I didn't think it would cost $10 more, but I don't know.
I mean, it's probably $2 more, but since it's more, they're up in that price.
I was really happy that Snipper Clips was $20.
That's
or
really
30
cool.
Canadian that I had to play because I was expecting that thing to be and it's going to be $40 because we're idiots.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it for news. Let's go on to the little bit of questions we have.
Okay.
If people want to send questions in, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Facebook group, the Discord channel, John's P.O. Box. And you could sound just like I am 3D Homer, who said, if you could eat any Zelda enemy, which would you eat and what would you season it with?
Always asking the hard-hitting questions. Okay. I would eat Ganon because he's a giant pig.
Okay, all right. And what are you going to season it with?
Oh, this is the problem, right? I guess I don't know like a lot of seasonings in Hyrule. I'm trying
Well, just let's say it's here.
Okay. I'm probably just gonna make bacon out of that guy. Like, I'm gonna make myself probably a plate of Ganon bacon, and then put the other 3,000 pounds or tons or whatever in a freezer until I want more.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the quick answer is the Babokin, but those things just seem nasty. Like, I think those things are all gristle. Like, you're not going to get anything substantial out of those things.
And they're like, yeah, I don't know, man. I think they would just be stringy and gristle and gross.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they're probably all gristle and fat, right? Like, none of that you want to eat. It's probably like the worst pieces of the meat. What about like, there are actually some people in the chat. Cajun Ganon, cook them with some pineapple. Sounds pretty good.
Yep, maybe an apple in the mouth. There's a lot of apples in that game.
Or is it like a luau? Cook them in the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
One of those goats that keeps trying to headbutt me.
Yeah, have you been headbutt by one yet? Yeah, it's pretty good.
Just knocks me and so I'm constantly just running away from those things. I'm gonna pick one of those, and I don't know, maybe slow cook it with some sriracha sauce.
I think an Octorok might be okay because I like octopus. Okay. And that's probably what they taste like, or squid or something.
Yeah. Okay. What's the balloon ones? I don't know what those are called. I'm not saying I want to eat them. I just keep getting rocks thrown at me by these balloon fish.
Are they not just Octoroks?
Are those the Octoroks?
I mean, there are Octoroks that are that, yeah, but is there a different breed or something?
I don't know what Breath of the Wild Octoroks look like. I haven't gotten up close to this thing. Because I'm used to just the Octoroks being in the water and shooting me from the water. These ones will like balloon up and float above the water. Are those the Octoroks?
I'm pretty sure those are still Octoroks.
Saying those are the Octoroks. Okay.
Yeah.
Follow-up question: are there any Zelda enemies you would refuse to eat, no matter how they were prepared?
I think
someone already said it in the chat. What were you saying?
I think probably Bokoblin is like a good answer.
Someone just said in the chat, chew jelly. I don't think that would taste good at all.
They might just be jello-y.
I don't know. I think from like a texture standpoint, I don't want to eat it.
Okay. Chew jelly could go really either way. It could be delicious or terrible. So I could see yeah.
I'm thinking like it's just some kind of like squishy eel something. Like
okay.
I don't know. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no on the chew. Those blue guys.
See, when you say jelly eel thing or something like that, yeah, I'm probably not completely down with that idea. That sounds kind of gross. I don't know. What about those like Japanese jellies? The ones that like taste sweet and
like are usually candy.
Yeah. Like, what if they're like that? Like, not the like Jello ones, but like they're a little firmer than Jello.
Okay, I don't know exactly what you're talking about.
I can't remember the name of them.
I mean, I don't know what the chew jelly tastes like. Nick in the chat is reminding us that you drink them in Twilight Princess.
Do you?
Which I think is why most people don't like Twilight Princess.
I mean, Twilight Princess is one of my favorites, but I haven't played it in a while. I should revisit it probably at some point.
The Magical Gamer asks, what about, or doesn't ask, but mentions, how about eating the Guardians?
I mean,
just break your teeth. That's just like eating rocks.
Now we're just going into dumb territory. Like, this was an honest to God academic question. This is just silly now.
I hate those guys. Anytime those guys start like targeting on me, I'm just like, nope, noping out of here. Goodbye, running away.
You should not go to the middle of the map. Then because there's a lot of those fuckers everywhere.
There was a shrine where you have to fight one that it's not the one that teaches you how to fight. It was a second one. Have you done this shrine?
There's 3 of them.
Okay.
At least.
This one. And once I got its health down to a certain amount, it just would not stop like doing triple blasts at me. God, that was annoying.
Okay, I know which shrine you're talking about. Yeah. That one was a pain in the ass.
That took me, yeah. And the first time it happened, like you get hit, you're just dead.
Yeah, that
like thank God I had a fairy on me.
I was actually mad about that one because there, like, yeah, you beat one form of it and then it kind of does another thing, and then like when you get it down to like the last 10%, it's just like, no, fuck this, you're dead.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stand against this wall. You can come to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, speaking of fairies, the Great Fairy Fountain I thought was awesome. I thought it looked great. And that was such a cool surprise because you're like, like at first, like I don't want to spoil it, but like it peeks open and it's got that creepy hand, and you're just like, oh God, this is not going to be good. And then when it opens and it's like, this is amazing. And then that's another great thing of like, yeah, this is a silly Zelda game. Like, this game is hard, but this is a silly Zelda game.
Did you get any clothes dyed?
I haven't, no.
You should try getting just one thing dyed, even if it's like your starting shirt, because that's some silly Zelda game shit right there that I think you'll like. I laughed out loud when it happened.
All right, next time I buy something, I'll go dye. I thought it was just going to be like, I don't really want to spend my stuff to change the color. I didn't know you get something or something funny happened, so I'll
the way they changed the color is funny for sure. I want to turn this on its head quickly. If you could eat any Zelda friend, or not like friend, but like a race that you hang out with, what do you think is probably the tastiest? Because we were talking only about enemies, but like, what race of Zelda people?
Like people.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
So I'm gonna answer the Rito or whatever because I don't care about them ever, and they probably taste like chicken. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, I like the Rito because I like Wind Waker a lot. I don't know what they look like exactly in this game. No spoilers.
They look pretty much the way you would think, like how Gorons in this game look like Gorons.
Well, to be fair, but like the Zora, they always look different.
Yeah, that's
Zora
arguable.
Sometimes they have heads, sometimes they're fish-like. So I feel like the easy one is just Zora because it would be fish. Sure. But I feel like this is like cannibalism. Also, most people in the chat are saying Zora, it looks like.
I mean, people like fish. I don't blame them. And that.
All right, you want to take this last?
Yeah, Lucky767. Oh, I know Lucky. Wrote in and said, in Breath of the Wild so far, have you done any kills using the environment that just had you laughing or put you in disbelief that it actually worked? So I guess I'll throw it to you first because I'll think of something.
Actually, he's thinking like any kind of like weird physics things where you like lit the whole place on fire or something. I don't think I actually have. Right. Most of the time, I just kind of run in there, throw some bombs. I just got the shock arrows, which I really like using.
Okay.
But I haven't been that creative yet, so I don't have a cool story.
There was a point where there's just like some shitty enemies on like a hillside or mountainside or something, and just like using a hammer to like hit them and then they go flying off the mountain is like really fun and satisfying, but that's not like, I mean, that counts, I guess, because it wasn't necessarily the hammer that killed them. It was the fall from falling down the side of the mountain that did. So sure. I like that. That's fun. I like that a lot. So
what's a creepy enemy? So there's the bats, right?
Yeah.
And they're usually in threes. Have you come across a like flock of them?
Yes.
I've done that once and it was just like, oh god, are they gonna see me? Is this an actual enemy? And then at one point they looked at me and some of their eyes were red, and I was just like, I need to get out of here right now.
Yep. That
was creepy. All right, that's it for questions this week. Well, where can people send in questions for next week?
Topdownperspective@gmail.com, TDP podcast on twitter.com, facebook.com/topdownperspective, and to John's P.O. box. And I'm sure he'll check that when he gets back eventually. So
Or the Discord.
You can join the Discord.
Yeah. What was your game of the week?
Oh, This is actually tough.
Yeah, mine's tough too because Zelda's real good, but I got super addicted to Solitairica. I think I got to give it to Solitairica.
I have to give it to Zelda.
Okay.
And I played Fire Emblem Awakening essentially twice this week, like the same part, which okay,
Whatever.
I'm gonna say Zelda with the caveat of when I wasn't playing that, I was playing Fire Emblem Awakening, and that was really good. So there you go.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Hopefully John's back next week. I don't really know, but we'll be back next week, and see you then. Bye.
Bye bye.